So let me get this straight. You thought that you was gonna come up here with these black kings and be able to lie about dating black men and you wasn't gonna get sent home? Oh, okay. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. King's Court Season 1, Episode 1. Y'all, we in for a ride with this one, baby. We are in for a ride with this one. And look, I ain't gonna say nothing, but the men kind of handsome, okay? The men kind of handsome, and I feel like if they pick a woman and they actually serious, we might be able to do something with it. We might be able to. But something's telling me that these men are not as serious as they say they are, but we'll get into it. I'm giving y'all a little bit of a warning. They cutting grass outside, okay? I need to get this video recorded, so hopefully y'all can hear it and my mic like dilutes the sound and it's not annoying, okay? Hopefully that's the case. Nonetheless, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If y'all one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all. Hi. I'm doing okay. I'm doing well and I'm ready to get into this review. So let's go ahead and get into it. So our first king ready to conquer love is Tyson Beckford. Yes, the Tyson Beckford. Oh my God, that man was so fine when he was younger. I mean, he's still fine, but back then, yeah, it was his time to shine for sure, okay? He says that sometimes being a celebrity is hard. And one day he sat down and he just realized like, shoot, I'm 53 and I'm alone. So now he's at the point where he's ready to get his groove back. I don't think you ever lost your groove. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think you ever really lost it for real, okay? So then our second king who's here to conquer love is Carlos Boozer. He is a professional basketball player. Well, retired professional basketball player, okay? And he wants someone who wants to get to know him for him and not just who he was as a basketball player and all the stats and things of the things, okay? And our third bachelor ready to conquer love is Thaddeus Fuller. He is a WWE wrestler. Now, I haven't watched wrestling in years, okay? The last time I watched wrestling, like The Rock and The Undertaker and all of them were like in their prime. So I don't know if this was before or after then. I don't remember. But nonetheless, he says to the average woman, they would swipe left on him if they saw him in his underwear all body oil up. But if they took time to really get to know him, they would know that he's really just a sweet guy. Now listen, Holly Robinson Pete, baby girl, the dress was dressing, okay? The dress was dressing. Oh my God, it looks so beautiful on her, okay? And she's there with her husband, Rodney, and they're sitting down with the ladies and it is time to introduce them to the men, okay? They coming out like this is a fashion show, right? I learned through this process they're gonna be dating 21 women. I said that's a lot of women, and I only see 7 in front of me. So what's going on here? So I'm assuming that they're gonna be swapping them in and out, adding to the bunch and all types of stuff. So we are about to meet a lot of women. So I hope y'all can stick with me. Stick with me with the people, okay? So as the men come out, they're looking at the women are looking at them, and they are about to have this mix and mingle where they get to meet each other, and the men are gonna have to ask the women out on a date, okay? They get to ask 2 women per man. 2 women per man, which means 1 woman is gonna be left alone with no date at all, okay? But they tell the ladies, don't give up your hope just yet if you don't get picked, because you still have the elimination dinner to, go ahead and make a good impression. So still be on your best behavior nonetheless, all right? So the goal at the end of this is to have 3 couples leave in a strong, happy, committed relationship. I hope that's what we get, okay? Queen's Court hasn't been so successful. It looks successful during the process. People get engaged and all types of stuff. And the next thing you know, everybody's broken up. Okay. So hopefully, as the men are choosing this time, they might come off a little bit better than the women have. The track record is definitely not track recording. Okay. But nonetheless, right off the bat, Tyson and Brookdale realize that they know each other. And Brookdale is trying to figure out, like, dang, is that going to stand in the way of really getting to know him? Because I guess she kind of swerved him a little bit in the past. So she's trying to figure out, like, dang, I just messed up my chances. But when they sat down and they started talking, he was like, I know you. I know you. Come to find out, Tyson Beckford slid in her DMs. Baby, you got to be a baddie. He slid in her DMs, okay? And he said that she was beautiful. And she was just like, thank you. Real cute and simple. I'm like, girl, you don't see that man right there? That's how you know she wasn't really, like, checking for him like that. Because the way I would have been responding back immediately. You wouldn't have been able to tell me nothing, okay? She said that her mother met her husband on a dating app, and after 1 week, he brought her a car, and a week after that, he bought her a house, and the next thing you know, they was getting proposed to. So she feels like it don't matter. There's no time limit on nothing. When it happens, it happens. When it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and she's ready. So hopefully Tyson's ready too. Because Homegirl's ready to keep it moving, okay? He said he's ready and he's not going to let her get away again. So you know what he did? He asked her out on a date. The first person to ask a woman out on a date at that. And the conversation was very minimum. Very, very minimum, okay? He knew that he was going to ask her out on a date before they even sat down to talk. You want to know why? Because he was in her DMs trying to get her before. So I wouldn't even be surprised if, he keep her around for a while. Now, Carlos is talking to Janae, and I just knew that that was going to be his first person, okay? I knew he was going to want to talk to her because he spotted her when he was walking down the runway like, yeah, need to get to talk to her, need to get to know her. So what did he do? Find her first and start talking to her, okay? So he asked her, like, why are you here? And she said to meet my person. She's ready. And I'm sitting here like, why you think she here? Ain't that what y'all all supposed to be here for? Come on, Carlos, catch up, sir. Catch up, okay? Her last relationship was 5 years. And she realized that the guy that she was dating was just not a good guy. Okay, he was basically cheating on her the whole time. Even though she thought they was going to be together forever, nah, that's not what happened. So she tells him that she's a business mentor and that she helped women build businesses online. They really starting to really get to know each other, okay? She doesn't have any kids. None. Not 1, 2, 3, 0. We find out that he has an 18-year-old, 2 seniors in high school, and his youngest is 5, who is about to start kindergarten. Now listen, I don't have a problem with people having kids, but I feel like that's a lot of kids, Carlos, for somebody who ain't got no kids. Okay, now I'm wondering how she feels about knowing that he got all these kids, and is she want kids because she don't have no kids, and is he gonna want to have more kids? We got some questions that need to be asked, but she didn't even ask no questions after that. But then we learned a little bit more about her, and we found out that her mom's a dancer, her dad played for Earth, Wind, and Fire, and so she's been around celebrities her whole life. So meeting this man, seeing these famous guys, she's not fazed by none of that. She's been here, done that, seen that before, okay? And he likes that. He likes that, she's not starstruck or like trying to be with a celebrity because she's used to hanging in those circles, which means that she might actually just like him for who he is. And for that, he asked her on a date. So now Tyson is talking to some of the ladies, and he asked Dr. Shawanda how long she been single for. Now she said she's been single for 3 years. So he asked her, like, do you have trust issues? Like, cause I got trust issues. She said, no, I don't have no trust issues. And he was like, so you just trust everybody? I'm like, Tyson, what do you mean she just trusts everybody? I guess she ain't been hurt like you because he's been hurt. He's been hurt. He was dating this woman, and the guy that she was also seeing was walking his dog while he was out of town. And somehow that ended up on page 6, and the whole world knew that she was cheating on the Tyson Beckford, and that hurt his feelings because now he is in the confessional crying because although he was voted 50 most handsome man in the world of that year, it doesn't mean that his life is perfect, and he is only human, and he really felt betrayed by her and the dog. Listen, I feel for you, Tyson. Being cheated on absolutely hurts. I totally get that feeling deep down inside, so I know where you're coming from. It's okay. It's a safe space. You can cry here. Now, Thanius is talking about he tests women because he wants the best out of them if they going to get the best out of him. I don't like the language of the testing woman because what exactly are you testing? What exactly are you testing? So while he's talking to some of the ladies, Shawanda came over there like, huh, can I get some alone time? Can I talk to you? And he was like, ooh, she's a little bit aggressive, but I kind of like it. And I was like, wrestler, aggressive. Yeah, he likes that type of stuff. So he tells her that she seems a bit aggressive, but he likes that she took the initiative. Now, normally I don't like the word aggressive being used towards a black woman, but I feel like he means it in a good way. But I'm still torn. Because he could have said assertive. That aggressive word, it just don't sit right with me. Okay, maybe I'm digging too deep into it because we be analyzing these shows too much, or maybe it's not as deep as I think it is. But nonetheless, I didn't like the way he said that she was Little Miss Aggressive. I didn't like it. So now they sitting there talking, and she's talking about how she don't want to lead anymore. She wants somebody that's gonna take the lead. And I'm sitting here like, Miss, you just came over here all aggressive, assertive, taking the initiative, is giving very much leader. It's not giving soft at all. And so you take on this role now, you might have to keep it. Just saying. Because one thing about Thanos, he definitely likes a woman who's low key going to chase him just a little bit. So Tyson is supposed to be talking to two ladies, okay? He's sitting next to two women, but he's only focused on Lily. She's from Mexico, and he was like, "Ooh, I love the Mexicans." I said, "Not the okay." He likes Mexicans. He likes Mexico. They're in their own little world. I can't remember the girl name, but she was just sitting there to the point where she was like, I guess I'm gonna go talk to Carlos now. And I'm like, yeah, girl, because the way they dismissed you and act like you wasn't sitting in this conversation, yeah, it's best that you go about your business. So now we find out that he's a Sag and she's a Sagittarius. And according to both of them, they are soulmates. They are a match made in heaven. And so what did he do? He asked her on a date. Now, as soon as Tyson asked Lily on a date, Jenny comes over there and was like, "Can I grab you? Can I grab you?" I said, "Girl, you was too late. He already got his 2 days. You too late, girl." And even he was like, "What are you doing? Don't you see I'm already set?" I'm like, "Absolutely, girl. You snooze, you lose, because yeah, it's not looking too good for you, Jenny. Every time I see Jenny talking to somebody, you can tell that they're not really feeling her for real." But speaking of Jenny, let's go ahead and talk about her conversation with Thanos, okay? So she's talking with Thanos and Lexi, and we find out that Jenny's dad is the senator of Tennessee. So Thanos cut her off mid-sentence in the middle of their conversation, like, "Oh, so you live in Tennessee?" And she was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "So how would your parents feel about you bringing home a black man?" And she said, "Oh, they would be fine. They would be fine." So he asked her, has she ever dated black men before? And she said, "Yes. Yes, I have. My parents just want me to be happy. As long as I'm happy, they're happy." And I said, And I'm going to be honest with you. I felt it in my gut then that she was lying. I'm not even going to hold you. Now, he said that he has some friends that are in interracial relationships, and they families have really drawn a wedge between them and try to tear them apart. And he's being realistic, because if he's going to have a woman and he's going to have a wife, he don't want those problems. So if he could avoid it now, he will definitely go ahead and do that. Now, Thanius asked Shawanda on a date. Carlos asked Lexi on a date, and he said the way she loves and cares for her kids is so attractive. Carlos, we are not looking for stepmoms over here, okay? Your kids got their moms. I don't like how Carlos being attracted to her is centered around her being a mother. Like, what about her as the woman? You have to love her as the woman, not the mother. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Now, Thaddeus asked Jasmine on a date. So then everyone's going to have dates except for Jenny. And Jenny's trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I don't want to say it out loud, Jenny, but I think this isn't the right crowd for you. Okay. I think there's other shows you might be able to go on and find you a nice man that you could bring home to your parents. But I don't think this is the setting for you particularly. Not just because you're white, but also because you don't have that much experience with black men. Okay. Now, Lily, Brookdale are on a date with Tyson. Now, I don't know who told Tyson that skydiving was the best first date in the whole entire world, but he brought these women to go skydiving, and I am sitting here like, no. Immediately no, absolutely not. Who came up with this? Why did you pick this? This is craziness, okay? But he said that he loves skydiving because you're not in control. And if you're willing to find someone who's willing to do the craziness with you, then it will establish a trust factor. I don't need to trust you on the first date that much for us to be jumping out of nobody's plane. I'm just saying. Okay. And he tells them, like, y'all don't have to, but this will build a bond that no one else will be able to have but us. I don't need that bond. Absolutely not. If me jumping out of a plane is the only way I'm going to be able to bond with you, Tyson Beckford, I'm going to have to back out of it. I don't know you like that, okay? I don't trust them planes like that, and definitely not to be jumping out of them like that. I got to get home to my family. I came up here to find the love of my life, not to be out here jumping out planes. Child, but listen, the girls was down for it, okay? They was down for it. Now, Carlos, Janae, and Lexi are doing yoga with a twist. As soon as he said a twist, I said they about to bring out them daggone goats. And what did they do? Bring out them daggone goats. I'm gonna need these men to pick better first dates, okay? Because I understand it's a little group date activity or whatever, but I don't want the goats crawling all over me, chewing on my hair, pooping on the floor. Like, it's a lot going on. It's a lot. He said that it's important that his queen have appreciation for animals. You can have appreciation for animals and not have to have the animals crawling all over you, you know? You know. Now Lexi wasn't here for it. Okay. She was like, I don't know what is going on. They on me, they all over the place. Meanwhile, Janae is living her best life, just enjoying the little goats. And you know, I'm half and half. I enjoy seeing the goats, but I don't want the goats on me. You know, I'm half and half with it. But nonetheless, they seem to have had a good time. But Lexi, let me tell you something. She was not here for them animals. She said they smelled like butt. And I believe her. Now, Thanius, Jasmine, Shawanda are doing a painting exercise where they like paint the canvas, but they also paint themselves. Now, he told them to dress prepared to get dirty, and they literally came in with matching outfits. White two pieces looking like twins. And he was like, apparently they shop at the same store. And I was like, okay. Thanius, like, you are a big man. And that okay was crazy. He was like, okay. I didn't expect it. I just didn't expect it. It really cracked me up. But nonetheless, Jasmine was like, I'm used to more romantic, intimate first dates. And I was like, exactly. But I'm not too mad at this date because it was cute, it was fun, it was a little sensual, it gave you access to touch each other. I mean, this probably was the best date out of the 3 dates, okay? Because I definitely didn't want the ghost and I wasn't jumping on no plane, but we could do some painting. We can do all of that, okay? Now, Shawanda done took her little paintbrush and put her name on him, and he was like, did you just write your name on me? She said, absolutely, signed, sealed, and delivered. I said, oh, don't play with Shawanda. Don't play with Shawanda. She is out to get her man, okay? And she is not holding back at all. He said, Miss Aggressive is what I call her. But he actually thought it was really sexy. I said, oh yeah, he likes him a nice, assertive, aggressive woman, okay, who will take what's hers by any means necessary. Now, Shawanda said that Jasmine is the third wheel in her date, and that's pretty much what it was giving, okay? So he took off his shirt, and next thing you know, the girls is all touching on his body, touching on his face, doing a lot, okay? But overall, they looked like they had a lot of fun, and I wasn't mad at the date at all. But let me just say this, Jasmine, you got to get in the ring, girl. You got to get in the ring. If you want your man, you got to fight a little bit. You can't just sit back and let Shawanda do all the things, baby. You got to put in a little bit of work. Let them know that you in a room. Because it's given, you're not in a room. Okay? Now, Tyson done got them girls to skydive talking about all 3 of us could be a power couple. Respectfully, sir, hell no. This is not Polly Kings, okay? This is King's Court. You find one woman that you want court. That's it. Don't play with me because Tyson is giving me a little bit of like, I came to have fun. I came to date these women. I'm trying to get my feet wet, if you know what I mean. It's not giving very much. I'm looking for a wife, but it is only episode 1, so we'll have to see. But I will say that the skydiving looked really exhilarating. The experience looked like it was just something that you will never, ever forget. And the girls were so happy when they landed, and they just said how amazing it was. And I could imagine that once you hit the ground, you realize like this was awesome. But something about jumping out that plane and flying through the sky before you start to gotta be terrifying, okay? But the girls enjoyed it, and I'm glad that everything ended well. Nobody got hurt, and that this is an experience that they will have for a lifetime. So good for them. Now, Carlos and Janae are talking, and she asked him why he got divorced. Come to find out, he hasn't only been divorced once, he's been divorced twice because he's been married twice. He said he met his oldest son's mother when he was 18. They got married at 20, divorced at 28, and then a couple of years down the line, he went ahead and married his second child's mother, and then they got divorced. He never really explained why they got the divorce, and that's something that I want to know because I feel like that's very important. For you to have been married twice, had children by these people, and then continue to have kids, a 5-year-old at that you're not in a relationship, I have a lot of questions that I feel like she needs to get down to the bottom of. Why are you no longer in those two marriages? What led to the divorce? And what happened to the baby mother of the 5-year-old? Why didn't that work out? And how did you end up on King's Court looking for a woman when it seemed like you had access to a few of them? That's the questions that I want to know. I'm just saying, okay? But he said that his heart chakras is open to being married again because she wants to be married. And she needs to know now, is this something that you just want to play with, or do you want to get married again? So he does want to get married, and he does want kids, which is important to her because she wants kids. So far so good. But girl, make sure you ask the right questions to get the answers that you need before you go ahead and really start to fall for this guy, because men move in patterns. I'm not saying that it's going to be you, but if every reason to each woman sound pretty much the same, it's a pattern, okay? So the guys go to sit down with Holly and Rodney, and Thanos talks about his date with Jasmine and Dr. Shawanda, and he says that they both were great, but the only negative thing is that Jasmine wasn't really assertive, and that she was kind of like holding back, and Shawanda, on the other hand, was very aggressive, but in a good way, and her southern accent got him for sure. So I can already tell that this man is not going to work out when it comes to Jasmine, because her personality just does not fit the type of man he is or the woman that he wants. It's very clear who he has his eye on, and it's not Jasmine at all, okay? So Carlos talks about his date with Lexi and Janae, and he said that he saw Janae immediately. He knew that he was going to talk to her. They had terrific eye contact, and he wanted to get to know her immediately. So once he started talking to her, he realized that not only is she beautiful, she's deep, and he really enjoyed talking to her. He got the butterflies, all the feels of the feels, but he had to catch himself because he said, I've been here before, and it didn't work out for me because I'm here again, looking for love, looking for a woman. So he doesn't know if he can trust that feeling, but he's definitely enjoying the feeling that he has. I feel like it's going to take a lot for him to turn his head on her, but we're going to have to see what the next set of women is giving. Because the men will be all into you till they find something else that they prefer just a little bit more. Now we get to Tyson, and Holly said, listen, sir, you are one fine ass man, and he is, okay? But ain't no way in the world you would ever get me to jump out of plane, and he won't. He won't, okay? Tyson said, I never had women trust me like that, and yet you decided that you was going to push these women to the limit. Child, doing too much. Doing way too much. So now they are about to have the first elimination dinner, right? And they had to decide which 3 women that they want to bring to the dinner to get to know a little bit more before the elimination. So they start to talk, and everyone is pretty much like Jenny. We know that Jenny is going to be there because no one picked her for a date. But when Thaddeus brought up Lily, Tyson was like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Homegirl jumped out of plane for me. We are not about to bring her to elimination dinner. You got me all the way effed up. I said, oh, the men are going to be tussling. This isn't going to be smooth sailing, is it? Absolutely not. They definitely going to get into it, especially if they start going after the same women. Oh, they definitely going to be getting into it. So now we find out that the guys have invited Jenny, Lexi, Jasmine to the elimination dinner. Now, Jenny is talking to Dennis, and he tells her that just because he brought her to the dinner does not mean that she's going to be sent home, okay? So he asks her, is there anything that you haven't told me that you want me to know? And she said, I lied. When you asked me if I dated black men, I said I have, but I actually haven't. I lied. And she was like, it's not because I didn't want to date any black men. It's just because I haven't. She said she lied because she just wanted the conversation to end. She didn't want to, keep going on and on and on about it, okay? And so he was like, but you didn't even have to lie about it, because if you're going to lie on something like that, just imagine what else you would lie on. But when she said, I didn't want the conversation to get aggressive, send her home. Send her home. As a black man, I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. When a white woman sits there and say, I didn't want the conversation to get aggressive over one question, send her home. There's no more conversations. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. I am sorry, because it will never end well for you. It will never end well from you for you, okay? And he said, but the question wasn't aggressive. My point exactly. My point exactly. So now she's like, I just accept people for who they are. And no one questioned that. No one said you didn't. But when you start to lie about dating black men and wanting to move the question on so you don't have to answer any more questions because you don't want the conversation to get aggressive, that's already a pre-notion of how you feel he's going to handle you never dating black men. So no, absolutely no. You're not accepting people for exactly who they are. And he was like, and we accepted you for who you are, but you have to be your authentic self. Exactly. If Jenny would have came in there and said, no, I've never dated black men before, but I'm open to it, or else I wouldn't be here, that would have been a different conversation. But to honestly just go on and lie about it and to bring it up later and then to say because you didn't want the conversation to turn aggressive is crazy work, because it gives the pre-notion that you think that talking about race for some reason is automatically going to be turned into an aggressive conversation, especially from a big black man. I didn't like it. Not at all, okay? So Carlos is talking to Lexus and everything seems to be going good until she starts talking about how, her kids are looking for a stepdaddy and how she's been in Tubi movies and how she's a singer and how she's just so motivated and she got tunnel vision. And I'm trying to figure out, how did you end up here? Okay? Tubi movie singer, you're motivated, tunnel vision, you trying to really get out there or whatever the case may be. So how did you end up on King's Court? He's questioning her motives, and so am I. I'm sorry, I am. Because it's nothing wrong with doing all the things that you're doing. I'm here for it, sis. But the way she went into it and the tunnel vision that she was having is giving, do you really got time for a man? Do you? I don't know. We're going to have to see. So now we're at the dinner table, and Tyson is saying he is ready. It's going to be sad what we got to do, but one of them ladies or two of them ladies or three of them ladies got to go. Let's get this party started. So Tyson tells Jenny right off the bat that she is not their queen. And she did not show up as her authentic self. And so Thanius took this time to jump in and say, you know what? I just want to let you know that I am thankful that you had the courage to tell me the truth. He really appreciated it and he really respected that. I also respect it. Because she could have went on and lied about it continuously. But in the process of her telling the truth, certain things that she said definitely made me look at her sideways. I'm not even gonna lie. But we can respect a truthful queen. Yes, we can. So now Carlos said that he loves animals, but Lexi did not like the way the animals smelled because she said it smelled like butt, which I'm positively sure it did. And he made it seem like, he was going to tell her that she is not their queen, but ultimately he wants her to stay around because he wants to continue to get to know her, because he realized that you can have appreciation for animals and you can like animals, but you don't have to want the animals on you. And I don't know if that's what he realized. I'm assuming that's what he realized, okay? So now Thanius is talking to, and he tells her that he wants his queen to feel like she can conquer the world. But in a room full of women, Jasmine does not stand out and she is not assertive. And for that, she is not his queen. I knew it. If she let that one girl literally take over that whole date, she will never be able to step in and compete with multiple women at multiple times for that man. And I'm not saying you have to compete for him for real, but let's be honest, this is sort of a competition of who's going to get the man. So you're going to have to do a little bit more than what she was giving. She wasn't ready for a fight like this. Not at all, okay? Now, once the two ladies get up to leave, Rodney and Holly bring out the rest of the ladies. And Tyson was like, oh no, not another elimination. I said, oh no, another elimination. Child, I wonder how that's going to go. Because we do have to meet the other women, right? So are we about to get rid of some more women and add in new women? Or are we about to add in more women to the women we got? What's T? We'll have to find out. I think it comes on Sundays. So yeah, we'll find out on Sunday. We'll definitely find out on Sunday. Child, that was the first episode. I feel like this season is going to be very much interesting. I do think there's going to be a little bit of drama, but I hope there's a lot of love. Okay, I really hope there's a lot of love. Anyway, y'all, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like the video, press that like button, get in the comments, let me know what you think about this season so far. Do you think we're gonna have a good time? How you feel about the kings that they chose, or whatever the case may be? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And with all that being said, I'll come talk to you guys later. Peace.